During springtime, we usually like to declutter around our home, right? But have you ever thought about making sure that you declutter your gray hair products? That's what I'm going to talk to you about on a recent wash hair day. I was looking in my stash and I was like, how long have I had these products for? I opened them up, some of them had a smell, and I was like, oh, I pay attention to many other things around my home to make sure that I declutter. But do I make sure I declutter my hair products? Now, you may not have the same issue I do. I've been on YouTube for a while, and so because of that, I review a lot of gray hair products. And since then, and my circumstances have changed, I haven't been doing as many reviews or hair tutorials. But because of that, I have a huge stash of products. So that may not be your issue. Even though when I first started on my natural hair and my gray hair journey, it is hard to not try everything that you see out there, but it is important to make sure you look at your hair products. Not every product, but most of them have a little jar sign in the back that has a number on it, whether it's a 12 or a 6, to help us to know how long it can keep its effectiveness. And I didn't realize that it was a thing that you have to be careful even with your hair products of mold or different things like that. If water, germs, bacteria, different things like that come into your hair products, that can affect your scalp. Maybe if you have a scalp condition, dermatitis, seborrheic dermatitis, different things like that, we really have to be careful of keeping our scalp. There's natural occurring bacteria that is on our skin, but we don't want to add an amount too much so that we have issues. So this was something I was like, I gotta come on here and make sure I talk about that. And also, I know you guys have mentioned this before to me about, recommendations with hair products and things like that. The importance of keeping things simple. I don't know about you. I think all of us are in a continual season of change, depending on our own circumstances. And for me, it's the fact that I'm homeschooling my son. That I enjoy doing, but I underestimated how much it takes out of me. So when it comes to what I want to do with my hair or other things like that, I have simplified the process a whole lot more so that it could get done. And that's the beauty of when you simplify something, it makes it more likely that it'll get done. So when it comes to hair products, I am sticking with what are my favorites, what I've used for. Actually, this month is my gray hair anniversary month. It'll be 6 years since I stopped dyeing my hair. And throughout that time, I'm going to share with you guys in some upcoming videos what my favorite products are. And it's not going to be as long of a list as it used to be. And this will be specifically for those who mostly do wash and goes with their hair. That is my go-to hairstyle. Let me know what your go-to hairstyle is. That's not to say these products that I mentioned may not work if you do twist out or something like that, but those are questions to ask yourself when you're thinking of getting products for your gray hair. Are you natural? Are you a relaxed silver sister? That will affect the type of products that you usually get. You could be natural and maybe you like to wear your hair blown out or straightened. That will affect the products that you use. And so it's important to be able to look in your stash and make sure that the products that you're using are able to fit your current needs. And I say current because we know that change is a constant, but sometimes we still operate in the past or what worked before. And that might mean even just as recent as a month ago, a week ago, things can change so quickly. And then all of a sudden you're like, okay, I need to switch up. I need to adjust to what my current circumstances are. When you're able to do that, you'll find way more peace on the gray hair journey. Another thing that I think can affect the products that you use is how long your hair is. My hair is short. I do wear it in a tapered cut, but it is long. This is long for my tapered haircut. And so when I first went gray almost 6 years ago, I believe it's the 17th that it'll be 6 years. The products that I used were different because I didn't have as much hair that I had to deal with. So I'm, like I said, in a future video, I am going to talk about what things to look for, things to ask yourself, because that's one of the top questions that people ask. What do you put in your hair? What do you put in it to get it to look like that? And if you look in the description box, you will also see I have a free audio for you guys about the 3 things that we can get caught up in on our gray hair journey that can make it more difficult than it needs to be. And so let me know if anyone's on here if you can't hear me or not, because I am connected to my mic. But yeah, it's important to declutter your hair products. It's important to simplify your stash that you have. And also, this is something that I think any of us can get caught up in, and not just with hair stuff, but just in general, especially when it comes to YouTube. You'll go on YouTube, you mind your own business, watching a video, and then you see this product and you're like, oh my gosh, I need this product. And learning that if you've watched my channel, watched the many videos that I've had, and you see me try a lot of different products, it does not mean that you need to be using all those products. I use them to show you the consistency, how it looks on my hair. But if you have products that have been go-to for you and really work, try and keep it simple and don't add anything else in there, because that also can affect. You could be like, wow, my hair was doing good, and now all of a sudden it's not. And another reason why it's good to simplify is when you first decide that you're going to stop dyeing your hair and you start learning your gray hair, you need to give yourself enough time to see each product, how it works for you. Because if you try too many things at once, you won't know what is it that's not working for you or working for you. So I'm going to be focusing on that. I told you that I am going to be veering off into other things health related, because that is also another current season that I'm in. But I will still be able to give you some gray hair tips, and I want to focus more on how you can maximize what you already have. And when you look at that free audio that I have for you guys of what we need to avoid doing on our gray hair journey, it'll help you to see how to make it easier. So let me know if you periodically go through your hair product stash and you look to see how long you've had a product. Not all products will you notice a smell. Sometimes you'll notice a change in the consistency of the product, a change in the color of the product. I usually, when it comes to Silver Sisters, I usually encourage products that are clear or white if you can, to avoid staining. So if you have a product and you notice that the consistency is the color is starting to change to more yellow, then that's definitely something to see if it needs to be tossed. And so my word for this year is release and let go. And I realize that when you let go of stuff, and that applies, hi Tracy, how are you? I realize that applies not just to our hair products. There's a lot of things just in general this year that I want to focus on letting go of, because when we let go, what do? We make more room for the things that do work for us, right? So if there are hair products that are good for you and they're working well, then get rid of the other ones. I don't know if this happens to you. Sometimes you feel like, oh, maybe you're even on Instagram and you saw a product and you're like, oh, let me try this. You get it, doesn't really work for you, and you feel bad that, oh, I spent my hard-earned money and I should try and make it work. But it's just taking up space, in your home. So get rid of it if it's not working for you. If there's someone else that you know who would benefit from it, see if you could do something like that. But I have been decluttering my stash and focusing on what has been working the past 6 years, and trying not to get shiny object syndrome, as they call it, with every new product that comes around. There have been some consistent products that have worked for my hair. And also, I want to encourage the importance of giving things enough time. If you are in the beginning stages of your gray hair journey and you're trying out products, please give yourself enough time to find out if that product works for you. If you try for one wash day, that might be enough for you to say, ugh, I don't like it. But you might find if you try it again or you try a different combination, it might actually work for you. So if there are some products that you found that, I haven't used this since I bought it weeks ago or months ago, try it again and you might see that you have different results. That is something that I've been finding with certain products. Some I knew right away this is not going to work for me. And you also have to allow space when you are going gray. Even if you're maybe past the grow out stage, maybe now all your colored hair has grown out, but you need to keep in mind that your gray hair changes even along the years. So I will be doing a video too in the future that has a compilation of what my hair looked like when I first started to now. I have way more white in my hair than I did before. Most of the darker hair is, in the back of my head. So that also will affect the products that I use. A couple of years ago, maybe I notice now with the hair that is whiter or there's less color, that appreciates products that help seal the cuticle. And for me, that's gel. My hair loves gel. And so, you have to, again, look at the current needs of your hair and be able to adjust to that. And we're in spring. We're going to be moving into summer soon. And you might find, depending on the weather, depending on where you live, you also might have to switch up your products for that too. So it's important every now and again for you to take inventory and stock of the gray hair products that you have. See what's working for you. You know how when you're doing clothes decluttering, there's a pile that you put to donate, a pile that you're kind of thinking about, and then the ones you absolutely are going to keep. So when you look through your stash, say, oh, this is my ride or die. You put that on the side. That makes it easy. The rest of the things that you have, decide if it's something that you want to try again and see if it works. But that is also very important for us to be able to do, because you might find that you have a product that you love and you're like, why am I getting different results? It could be because it is past its expiration. So sometimes, we know that with food for sure, right? Don't keep it past the expiration date. But sometimes with our products, especially if we have a lot of it, we may not realize, oh man, how long has it been? Had a conditioner that I knew was a peppermint type of conditioner. And when I opened it up, I was like, this don't smell like peppermint anymore. And especially if you get more of the, on the natural side hair products, you definitely need to be mindful, because they do have some preservatives, but it's not the same as other products that might have a little bit more of that. So that was something I wanted to share with you guys today. Hopefully it'll help someone on their gray hair journey. Like I said, I'll be doing some future videos to talk about what my go-to favorite gray hair products are and why they're my favorite, because that's something else that will take time. Why do I like this product? Is it the texture of it? Is it the smell? Sometimes that's a thing. Do I like the way my hair looks? Longevity, things like that. So I'll be sharing that with you guys in the future. And that is that on the hair front. But I also wanted to talk to you guys, give you a little update on how my health is doing and what I'm doing on that front. So it is the beginning of a new month. It's May, and I have tried to tell myself that you don't always have to start new goals or do new things on a Monday or on the first of the month. Every day is an opportunity to be able to start again, to be able to let go of things that aren't working for us and to bring in more of things that work for us. So with each season of change that I've been going through, whether it be my gray hair journey, becoming a mom is a season of change. Also homeschooling has been a change. And so I will admit, I know that there's an adjustment period to that, but there are times where my expectations still are not as realistic as they should or could be. And so my goal is to, as always, because the goal and theme of my channel, if you haven't been able to tell yet, is how we can practice more self-compassion when you're going through a change or you're going through a challenging time, because you might say to yourself, okay, I'm ready to embrace this, but it's important to allow space for all the challenges that come up as you do that. Because sometimes we're so focused on, all right, what do I need to do? And it's like, well, make sure you account for things not working out and how to handle it so that you don't let it derail you. So a lot of times, even when it comes to our hair, we're so focused on what hair product do I need, so I can make my hair look a certain way, and we don't realize that we neglect our internal health and how that affects our hair. You could go to the store, beauty supply store, get you a nice product for your coils, your natural hair, whatever. But if we're not taking care of ourselves, that can affect how our hair looks as well. So I recently went to the doctor and got some blood work, and there's some things that I need to work on with my health. And, exercise is one of them. It's hard dealing with chronic illnesses. I have a seizure condition that I deal with. And since the last time I updated you guys, I have had about 3 or 4 of them. And so, again, there have been many opportunities in my life to deal with, what do you call that? Not roadblocks. Maybe it is roadblocks, like different things that come up that try and derail you. I can be a perfectionist where I'm like, okay, this is what I want to do and this is how it's going to go. And then life happens. And then I find myself getting in my head. And so I'm trying to practice more self-compassion. And so that's what you're going to hear me talk a lot about. I have also been getting into art to help me with relaxation, stress relief. That is important. Sometimes you might be having breakage with your hair, hair loss, and you don't realize it's because of stress. That happened to my mom. I remember her hair was breaking in the back. It was just like really bad. And it was because of stress. It's better now. But the things we're eating or not eating enough of, exercise is good because it gives blood circulation. And it helps with our scalp health. Those are things that it's not just the aesthetic, like, oh, if I exercise, I'll lose some weight. There's so many factors to it. So I'm trying to be more mindful of that. And so my goal for this month is to, at first I was going to say, oh, I'll walk every day for 30 days, for this month. And then I said, well, how can I be more self-compassionate with this goal? And I know before, when I've made a goal where I wanted to do something every day for 7 days, that is my higher upper limit goal, right? And I told myself, well, let's work at this. Let's do more than half. So if I work out 4 times throughout the week out of 7 days, then I've been able to make my goal. Now, if you do anything, that's better than nothing. And I remember going to my doctor, and she was like, are you exercising? This was a long time ago. And, she was like, just, 5 minutes. And I'm like, that doesn't feel like it's going to do anything. And she's like, well, how is not doing anything going for you? And that definitely gave me a different perspective. And it's true. Something is always better than nothing. So the way I've looked at it is, let me do more than half. My goal is to do the full amount, but if I could at least do more than half, that self-compassionate grace period that I allow myself makes it feel more doable. So far I was able to get out. It's nice out today. I walked with my son. And so my goal, at least each week, is to exercise 4 times out of the week. If I could do 7, that's even better. So before, I would look at goal setting like that and be like, "Ugh, I'm setting the bar too low." But for someone like myself who deals with chronic illness, I have to set the bar at a realistic place that I can achieve. Otherwise, you can, it could be self-defeating and not helpful. Thank you, Tracy. Yeah, realistic having realistic expectations is a very self-compassionate thing to do. Another self-compassionate thing to do is allow space. Like, I remember reading something that said, try not to let 2 days go in a row where you don't do something. So if you have a goal to walk throughout the week, right? And you miss a day. Okay, it happens, but try not to let more than 2 days go by without you, being able to get back up. So it allows space for life and for things that happen, especially if you deal with chronic illness, but at the same time giving you a challenge and pushing you to do more. So for me, it's always been trying to get that balance between I want to push myself, but not push my nose to the ground, so that I could keep going. Because homeschooling my son has taken a lot mentally and emotionally than I realized. But then I had a day like today where he actually was, it was a smooth day. But that's not always going to be like that. And so the days where, it's so easy when I was sending him off to school, to not know if it was a good day or a bad day because he was with his teacher. But now that it's me and him, I get to see all the things, the ups, the good, the bad, the ugly, right? So when I allow space for, hey, just because there was a rough week, it doesn't mean that we're not doing well. It just was a rough week. So, even when it comes to hair, in the beginning, there's that awkward stage when people are growing out their gray hair that's just like, oh, I want this to be over and done with. And it will, allowing space for that to not be your favorite part of the journey. But you do learn a lot. You do learn patience. So that is one of my goals for this month is to increase my walking is the easiest thing. I don't know what it is. Another thing I like to do is Leslie Sansone. I don't know if you guys know Walk at Home. And it's very easy. She only does like four basic moves and she does it over and over again. But for some reason, going out for a walk, sometimes, I guess because it feels a little bit more leisurely. And then you're able to go outside and get some vitamin D. So those are things that I'm trying to do to help myself, especially with the seizure condition. A lot of it is based on not just emotional. Like sometimes I'm not stressed, but sometimes it's hormonally. And this is another thing. I'm turning 42 next month. Another season of change that I'm going through now is my hormones. And I went and got blood work. They said it didn't look in my blood work like I was in perimenopause, but the symptoms that I'm having is absolutely letting me know that we're not in Kansas anymore. Meaning like things are changing. This doesn't feel like my usual. And so I'm learning to meet myself where I am. When you are going through a transitional time in your life, if you keep thinking about what you used to do, why you can't do it anymore, it's just going to build frustration. That's not compassionate to ourselves. It's like, okay, well, what's going on right now? What can I do right now to make this the easiest transition it can be? And a lot of times it's allowing space for the discomfort and all the stuff, that comes with it. Right now, this is okay, but I've been having a lot of skin issues lately that I normally don't have. Parts of my face, especially around this area here, that burns and itches, it'll just like pop up and it's been really frustrating because that's not what I'm used to. Of course, sweating, I've always had been someone who sweats a lot, but it's even more now. And learning to deal with that. My sleep has been affected. That was something else I wanted to come and talk about because, similar to the gray hair journey and even me sharing about my seizures, there are a lot of people who, watch these things and sometimes you just wonder, like, am I the only one who deals with this? And you're not. I'm pretty sure that there is someone out there who is dealing with something similar as you are. And I definitely don't feel like there was enough talk about menopause and the changes that you go through hormonally, and how that affects you. And so, even with my seizures, I have to allow space for, okay, I am doing the walking, I am doing the other stuff, and it's still happening. And that's just how it is. So, I have to learn to meet myself where I am. Hi, Shelly. Thank you so much. Yeah, sleep changes. I mean, I know sleep change. The first experience I had with sleep change is after having my son, for sure. That was, I understand why they use sleep deprivation for certain people. But it's now like a different kind of, I'm more wired. I can't remember a time where I got a full 7 to 8 hours. So just sharing that and knowing you're not alone. And I'm really thankful that I'm able to be home, homeschool with my son that allows for a flexible schedule. So I'm also trying to work on the mindset aspect of things. And then this is also why I've been getting into art. It's something that was suggested to me by one of my healthcare professionals, and she told me do some art. She's like, create something at least 3 times a week. She's like, don't watch something, create something. And at first I was like, oh, okay. And then I would say since February, I started to, with watercolor and coloring and a lot of different things that I'll be sharing with you guys. And even if you yourself don't do it, but sometimes just even watching it could give you a little motivation. That's something that's been helping me mentally. It's something that's mine, that's for me, because once I'm finished the day trying to teach my son, it's nice to have something that can clear my mind. I don't have to think a lot about. Hi, Cheryl. And I'm just talking about some goals that I have health wise for this month of May, and learning how to have self compassion even when it comes to goal setting. Remembering something is better than nothing. And something I use is more often than not. Am I doing it more often than I'm not doing it when it comes to walking, when it comes to, my deep breathing, doing the art exercises, journaling? That's also a part of release. I learned that especially as women, we carry so much. Ooh, we carry so much. And if we don't release it, that can make you sick. And so finding ways, walking is another beautiful mindful activity because I take that time. I'm one of those people you'll see outside touching a tree. Like, oh, this is such a pretty tree. I've been obsessed with different types of bark and stuff like that. Spring is a beautiful time of year. Before it was like nothing on the trees. Now you're seeing all these beautiful colors. So it gives a distraction from the stuff swirling in my head. And I also find since I've been homeschooling, it's easy to be overstimulated. Like right now, I'm so thankful my son's downstairs. I may have spoken too soon. It's like quiet. I think I spoke too soon. It's almost like I feel like he hears me. Yeah, you guys are gonna meet him. Hi, the Wild Thunder Child. Hi, Cheryl. Well, you'll come see my little guy. Yes, give yourself some grace. Oh, good. I like that. Say hello.
Huh?
This is my little guy.
Is there anything?
Okay, here. You know how to open this. Go downstairs and get the gloves and use it to open.
It does.
Okay, thank you. You could close the door. I'm almost done. Even with him and teaching him with like his fine motor skills, because it's hard for him to open the water bottle. But I found a way to help him to wear rubber gloves, and he does it all on his own. So I've been learning different ways to help him to get his independence, give me a little bit of freedom. And that was something I learned even with homeschooling, that I was, isn't he something else wearing that hat inside? He's such an old soul, but I love him. He's just as he gets older and seeing his personality, I'm just like, wow, he brings a lot of joy. It is a lot, but he brings a lot of joy along with it. So, what was I saying to you? Creating art with deck of playing cards. I'd love, my email is naturallygraceful@gmail.com. Send me a video or something you have on that. If there's something that you've seen on YouTube, because art is such an amazing thing. It is subjective to us. There's so many different ways that you can do it beyond the traditional ways, and it's a way to express ourselves. So like I said, as women, we hold so much in, and also being moms, it can be easy to lose who you are and the things that you love about you because you're so focused on your child. So getting back to art has shown me that creative side of me that I have, and it's been really nice. Shelly, thank you so much. It is. It helps him and it helps me. So, and actually, even with the art, because you notice with young children, art is important, and art is also important even as people get into their older years. It's just great. So you're gonna be seeing that from my channel as well. So you're gonna be seeing a lot of things that are gonna be helpful. And if you guys have any questions as well that you have for me, please leave them in the comments so that I can answer them for you. It's really nice to be able to have this channel to be able to share these things with you guys. But at the same time, even with my channel, I've had this since 2019, and that has changed. After a while, after a couple of hair tutorials, guys, I was like, I don't have the energy to go in the bathroom and show you my routine from the beginning to the end because I'm barely, with all transparency, I'm barely keeping it together. Like it's actually time for a wash. I don't know if why is it that when it's time for a wash your hair looks like the best, but my scalp is very, very itchy, and I'm realizing that if this means that I need to simplify my hair routine so that I'm washing my hair more regularly, then I got to do that. Because scalp health is important. It starts at our scalp. Being able to, give it massage and take, again, every time we have wash day, what are we doing? We're releasing and taking off all that gunk and buildup, and we're making space for moisture and different things that our hair needs. And so that's the same with our life. What areas of our life can we release things that are weighing us down, and add more things back in our life to energize us? Thank you, Cheryl. Full deck challenge. Thank you. I'm going to look it up. Cheryl, I'm not sure if it was you on one of my last videos who was telling me about junk journaling. I looked that up too, and I thought that was awesome. Now, mind you, here's the caveat, right? And this is why I told you guys in the beginning of this video that it's not just with hair products, but just anything. If you are like me, anything I get, I kind of get like really excited about, and you want to find out everything about it. And what I found that I was doing is I was finding out everything about it, but I was overcomplicating it. And I said, well, am I actually doing the art or am I just watching? So, oh, it was you, Cheryl. Okay, yay. So, thank you for adding something else that I'll look into. So, simplifying helps us to get things done. So I had showed you guys on another video this book that I found where all I have to do is add water, and it's a watercolor like coloring book, and it, like, easy. So what can you do to make your life easier? One of my life coaches that I had was always encouraging me, let it be easy. And I was like, why is that so hard for me? Sometimes in my mind, I think if it's not complicated enough, then I don't know, it takes away some of the validity of it. But it's like, no, girl, if you keep it simple, it gets done. Even coming on here, I was thinking, I'm like, just come on here and talk to everybody. That's all. Thank you, Cheryl. I look forward to your email. And also something else that I want to encourage you to do, because we as women, I feel, can be really great cheerleaders for others. We can lift others up and support them, and we don't do that enough for ourselves. And so again, you can wind up feeling depleted because you're doing all this stuff and maybe even not feeling recognized or appreciated for it. But it's important for us to be able to do that as well. The book, I got it from Amazon, but when you send me the email, Cheryl, I can send you a link that I have for it. But yeah, I want you at the start of this week, okay, to make sure that whatever challenge comes up, how can you be more patient with yourself? Ask yourself, am I allowing space? Am I meeting myself where I'm at? Can what would you say to your bestie if they were having a hard time? Like, try and tell ourselves that. And I'm just speaking for my own self because I find it, I can lift you guys up till I'm blue. But for myself personally, if I'm not doing as well as I think I should be doing, then I'm just like, getting down on myself. And I'm not one who like calls myself bad names or like stupid or anything like that, but I'm just like, come on, what is your problem? Like, I'm very rigid. And so I'm learning to be more flexible. Hi, Sheila. How are you? So being able to do that is important. So celebrate small wins, especially if you have chronic illness, or maybe it's not even chronic illness, but you have circumstances that have limited you. Maybe it's temporarily. Being able to see, and this is something else that has been happening to me, just losing my thought and all of that. But I realize it's from not getting enough sleep that affects your brain. What was I saying? Maybe y'all remind me. Thank you, Sheila. I'm glad it's happening in real time, because if I was recording this video, I'd probably delete that part, but this happens a lot. I think I was talking about the importance of celebrating even a small win. Yes, if you have circumstances or health that affect what you can do, learn to celebrate the little things that you have done. So, something I did today that I'm going to try to make sure I do enough of this week is literally write down. I used to be a journaler that could fill pages, but my current circumstances and energy level and capacity, that is a word that has been on my mind a lot. What's your capacity currently? You may not have the capacity like you did, when things were different. So I wrote down that I made my bed, that I put away laundry. That laundry was there for 4 or 5 days, but I finally put it away. So, those are things that maybe not other people see, but instead of focusing on the fact that, maybe I'm not able to fully deep clean and do things the way that I used to, but I did do this. Those are things that can help keep your morale up. Like I said, especially if you deal with chronic illness, because every day can look very different. And I will tell you, today is Monday. Saturday didn't look like this. Saturday, I was in bed for the majority of the day because I had a seizure. And it could be easy to just think about what I didn't get done, or the fact that that was where I was at on Saturday. This is where I am at today. Tomorrow can look different. Day at a time, meet myself where I am. I'm glad you're finding this helpful for you, Cheryl. And please share it with others that you think that can find some use out of this. So I've been talking for 38 minutes. It was so nice to be able to have you guys on here with me. I am going to go and do some art, or I could do some with you guys, but I don't have everything set up. But I'm going to do that for another day, because that's another thing. Sometimes when you're not able to do all that you would like, when you have a good day, it could be easy to try and do all the things. And I saw a quote that I loved. Let me know if you're a quote lover. I love quotes. A quote said, "You can do it all, but not all at once." And so I try and remind myself of that, because as a mom, it feels like it, and it doesn't just feel like it. There's always the to-do list is ongoing. There's no like empty empty inbox with what it is that you have to do. So you see where you're at that day. And what's also funny is I was in the bed for most of the morning. Like, I think I got up around, I was able to get out of bed 12, 1 o'clock. So before that would be something that I would shame myself for. But laying in bed and resting for that amount of time allows me now to be able to get up, do schoolwork with my son, go out, go for a walk, and then be able to come and talk with you guys. So instead of shaming myself for what I need uniquely and specifically, meeting ourselves where we are. And I'm saying these things to you guys, but I have to, it's an ongoing practice. I haven't arrived. There are some days that I can hold on to that, and other days where it's like, I need a reminder. So that's what I love to do as well. Give compassionate reminders to you guys, because in turn I'm hearing them as well, and they're able to help me. So I thank you so much, Cheryl, Sheila, who else came on here, Tracy, Shelly, the Wild Child, or no, the Wild Thunder Child. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Again, I will come on here soon and let you guys know what some of my favorite go-to products are that I'm trying to keep to what works for me, and even not getting caught up with, like I said, the shiny object, because there's always going to be a new product that comes out. And Sheila is such a great example with this. She will always tell me what her go-to products are that she likes and that works for her hair, and that's what you got to learn to do. You can have maybe a similar hair pattern as me, but maybe your hair is longer. Maybe the time that you have is different. And so you have to be able to tailor it to what works for you. So let's just say the reminder again for the start of this month. I hope we all have an amazing month, a compassionate month, because again, that allows for whatever will come up. As long as you are patient with yourself, you allow space for, things that happen, and you get right back up and you notice the things that you are doing instead of what you're not. And yeah, all those things will be able to help you to roll with the punches a little bit better. Okay, but I thank you guys so much for being on here with me, and for your support as always, for allowing me to share all the things that make me me. It's not just the hair. And isn't it so funny? I think a lot of people after the past 3 years, like our priorities change, and our life has changed. And so, not to say that our hair isn't something that we need to take care of, but it's definitely not on the number one list. Thank you, Tracy. I'm so glad it was refreshing to you. That is my goal. So thank you for helping me see that I was able to accomplish it. So remember, whatever comes up this week, guys, make sure to treat yourself with compassion. Tell yourself the same thing that you would tell a good friend. And being a mom, when I say it's an everyday training, because when he struggles, I support him. I don't berate him. I don't shame him. I work with him. And so I know that it's possible for me to do. I just have to do it for myself. And I really hope that you guys do the same thing, okay? All right. Thank you, beautiful butterflies. Remember to, I had the thought in my head, but y'all know what I mean. I will see you on the next video. Thanks so much.